So
you want to ask about Def Comedy Jam? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask you about Def Comedy Jam because a lot of people saw you on that.
Right.
We didn't see you on Soul Train.
Oh,
I swear to God, you don't look old enough to be on Soul
You
Train.
can't pronounce my name, so you didn't see anything I did.
I know Mr. Crockett. And pronouncing your name ain't got nothing to do with it. Was on the Scrabble board. That's why I messed up.
Tomato.
All right. Here we go. That nice Barack. You was on HBO Def Comedy Jam. What's your favorite memory from that night?
Just being in a building with legends and knowing that I made the right choice with my life and career. Like everybody was in that building. Everybody. From Russell to Cedric, Jamie Foxx, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Queen Latifah, is everybody who was somebody in black entertainment and hip hop was in the building. And I'm a fresh face out of North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. So that was like, all right, we on to something here.
What was the pressure like? Because Def Jam that crowd was unmerciful.
And it was the last season that it was in New York. So it's like the pressure was everything. You know, you ever feel like you want to doodle on yourself? That's what the pressure feel like. But you about to go out on stage in front of the toughest crowd ever and on national television. So that set can either make or break you.
2 free throws, you the freshman, University of Kentucky, you got to win the game. That was that pressure.
Yeah.
And the vets don't know you. They don't talk to you till after your set because they got to wait to see if you're funny.
Of course.
Yeah. J. Anthony Brown, all of them. They was all in that joint.
How old were you at the time, Affion?
Don't worry about all that. How old is your hairline right now?
Nobody can cross-reference Affion's life.
Wikipedia has it wrong too. Don't.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hey, let's talk about the comedy grind because I kind of hate when people see you guys and see your success, and sometimes they label people like, "Oh man, Kev on stage blowing up, or Roy Wood Jr. is doing Affion's doing this." Like, what do you say to people that don't see the grind? Like, it ain't like y'all just started doing this stuff overnight, man. Y'all been putting in work for years. And how hard is it to not tell people like, look, man, I didn't just pop on IG, Kev on stage, and started doing these sketches and took off. This is years in the working.
You know, for me, it's blowing up is relative to when somebody found you. You know, if it's an overnight success, it's a long. Now, I don't really take it personally because I think most people just are saying, man, you new to me, and I'm excited. I want the best for you. Like, any of us could have a bigger moment and people will be like, man, this person blowing up. And Affion and Roy have plenty of credits already. Right. But, you know, it's kind of like the Grammy Best New Artist. Like, them people have been a new artist for 10, 15 years. But the Grammy's like, bro, ain't nobody know you like that. You know you just blew up for real. You know what I'm saying? But it's nobody's first year in music. And that's kind of how it is, you know, for me. If you look at people's Wikipedia pages, everybody's career be starting a long time before they blew up. They be doing stuff a long time. And to me, it all matters. All the stuff matters. All the little bit stuff, the small roles and the, you know, stuff you were working on, it all works together.
Yeah, you can't take offense to it. I mean, you know, we all knew Bernie Mac, and then Kings of Comedy hit, and he hit a whole nother demographic that was like, who's this Bernie guy? Yeah. Same thing, like even more recent, like Leslie Jones and SNL. Leslie been cooking for 20 years before Saturday Night Live. So it's just, you just keep grinding, because the thing to me is that the other issue in comedy is that no matter where you are, that elevation can change. So you best keep your humility and you best keep your hustle, because the same way somebody's discovering you, somebody can forget about you too. So you just keep grinding. I'm thankful that something I started in 98 just to get by is something I'm able to pay bills with, you know? So I'm just thankful, and you just keep working, man.
Yeah, Kev just asked me the other day, at what point did I feel like I'm killing it? And I said, I still don't. Like, I don't rest on that laurel. I don't count my resume. I just keep inspired to keep creating new stuff. And the best advice I got was from Bernie Mac. When I first started and I opened up for him in Fayetteville, North Carolina, he said, take your time. Take your time. I've been doing this 25 years and I'm just now getting noticed and getting my opportunity. He said, just take your time, have fun with it.
Yeah. I think think reason why it kind of rubs me a little the wrong way when I hear them say that about guys like yourself or guys like Deion Cole, Lil Rel.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's when white America sees us, then it's like, oh, they're blowing up. And I be wanting our people to be like, well, you should have seen this grind from this brother or this sister, like, you know, comedians like Leslie, Big Les. You should have seen this grind all the time. Why now that they get thrown on the mainstream thing, you're like, oh, they doing it.
Well,
That's
no, I think a lot of times people like take Tiffany Haddish, for example. She was on stand-up. If you don't go to stand-up shows, you might not have known she was a stand-up comedian. If you didn't watch the Carmichael show, you might not have known she existed. And a lot of people saw Girls Trip. I mean, a whole bunch of people, but she was obviously funnier than that. Lil Rel, for example, I saw him on Bad Boys of Comedy, but you know, it wasn't a huge show. I just love comedy, so I watched all that type of stuff. He was also on the Carmichael show, but most people didn't know about him till Get Out. Right. And I was like, oh yeah, Rel, you know, everybody's finding out about you. But Rel been out. You know what I mean?
So an hour special before Get Out.
Relevant. Yeah, like I'm just saying. And that's I think that's why I'm just like, yo, these people been putting in the work, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like when Deion Cole got his break, you know, with Conan. I'm just like, man, Deion been the dude pulling the notepad out and writing when a joke didn't go well or something like that. Like, so I guess that's how I kind of look at it. But I understand what you guys are saying, that it shouldn't stop your grind or hustle just because.
But see, now you asking a separate question. Now you asking the question that's rooted in, why don't black folks support us till white folks are running with us?
Okay.
And that's a whole nother game. Yeah. That's a whole nother game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, since we going there, since I went there, what are some things would you like to see from our black audience as far as support for comedians on the lower level? Because, you know, I feel like we get it, but not enough to the point where we pushing people to the front. But then when they give us the stamp, it's like, oh, okay, they're great now. I hate that, bro.
Well, I think the thing about it is a lot of times that stamp of approval from white America usually comes with a platform that most black people don't have access to that is big, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, you find out about, you know, Affion or Roy, your local comedy club or that small movie or whatever that thing is, but it's, you know, we don't own ABC, NBC, Viacom, you know, we got a small piece of the pie. So that big platform is usually the one that allows the majority of people to have access. You know, Girls Trip is a movie that was in every theater. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Carmichael show was on, but you know, everybody wasn't watching network TV. So if you're a fan of them or the people in that show, you're going to watch it. But if you're not, you might not know. It might not have even been marketed to you at all. Like I used to really get mad at HBO, like, why you don't market Game of Thrones to me? I'm your perfect candidate. I heard about it from other black people. They'd be like, man, shut up. Y'all ain't gonna watch this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what same thing that happens. It's usually black people writing for you, but we just don't have as big of a platform to immediately anoint someone like other platforms have.
Then why can't we? My next question, my follow up would be then why can't we as a people have those platforms like Kevin on Stage, for instance, what you're doing? Why can't we have a lot of people get behind Kevin on Stage and what he's doing and create that and make that big? Or when Michael Rainey was kind of going at Timberland and Swiss Beats for selling the whole Versus thing.
Versus, yeah.
To Triller, even though they got people paid, it's like, yo, you guys built that, hold on to it and keep it and let us make it big. So now we do have a big platform.
I honestly think, personally, I think the tide is changing on that. But, you know, I think black people are, you know, we are finally getting some access to the resources to make networks, make our own shows and stuff like that. I think black people always support each other. And I think you'll see moving forward, we'll have that opportunity because we're kind of getting away from white validation and all type of stuff like that.
I would say, to answer the question, two things black people could do to support comedians, and especially even the generation, you know, that's coming after us. Number one, go see them live if you can. Number two, tell 5 friends about them.
Yep.
And just let that marinate. I think I would argue, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Leon, I would argue that maybe Kevin Hart and Issa Rae in like the last 10 to 15 years, or like the last two artists that bubbled from like a proper underground word of mouth.
Yeah,
like Kev, before he blew, he was going through them improvs off of email lists and off Soul Plane getting bootleg.
Hold that thought, Roy. Hold that
Yeah.
thought. We'll come back. I'm gonna let you finish that thought when we come back from break. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to Later with Leon. Roy, you were answering a question before we left. You were talking about how Issa Rae and Kevin Hart were probably like the last two African-American comics in the past couple of years to get that underground swell of promotion, which people knew who they were when they hit.
Yeah, I'm saying all black and then boom, mainstream versus all black and then a mainstream and then boom.
And boom, right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think that what we can do, as black people is just support other artists. And just when you see one, tell somebody about them. Sling a retweet, throw up a mention. If something made you laugh, say that. Let other people know. And I think that's the type of stuff that gets more people on board. You know what I'm saying? But, we'll see.
Affion?
I think Kev on stage is the embodiment of not seeking the validation of the other side. Sometimes we just got to stop complaining as artists and just go get it and feed the people great entertainment and just do the work. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get discouraged when we put out one thing and then people didn't show up, and then you stop and then you get discouraged and you get bitter. You have to keep cranking out product. Maybe that product wasn't that good. I'm also like, I financed my own stand-up special, the one that Kevin licensed on LOL. Mm-hmm. I put up my own bread. I didn't wait for the big networks to come and offer me a deal so that they could own it all in perpetuity. I said, I'm going to show the world what I can do. No one's giving me the deals. I'm not at the comedy festivals in Montreal and all of that. They don't know HBO. They don't know that I do stand-up. I know that I do stand-up. So figure it out, yeah. and the audience, of course, we want y'all support. We want y'all to buy those tickets. Come see us live, like Roy said. When we selling stuff, when we got movies,
yeah,
show up. Cause the minute y'all, you get on Black Twitter and you want to complain, oh, that movie wasn't this, and why don't they do more? Well, we don't do more because y'all didn't pay the ticket. We gonna keep doing our thing, but you got to do your part too, and spend with that dollar.
Because I think everybody's not able to, to finance their own special or to create their own movie with a big budget. So sometimes they need to lean on the community to support them from the grassroots. But I do like the whole independent movement where, let's just do it ourselves. Or like, I always encourage groups of comics, get together and do something collectively. You know what I'm saying? And build the money up. And then, you all break off and do your own thing like Voltron, like form together and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple.